This video's going viral with Shorty above me explaining that it wasn't a freak off that was going on. It was ritual orgies that they were doing, or sex magic, as we've heard in different videos before in the past, on how a lot of these celebrities allegedly do sex magic to channel the dark side and continue their success and pay back in rituals and different things like that. Could that be true? Could that not? It really depends on how superstitious you is or how much of that stuff you really believe. But a lot of people in the internet are believing that. That's one thing that I said as well. Like, imagine it's not a freak. You get me? It's still freaky shit going on, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of videos about Crowley. I've seen how much in hip hop people hold him. Jay-Z's wore scriptures, hoodies with his scriptures on it. X has shown him before. A lot of people listening to Crowley. One thing that he did was he loved the Egyptians. Not only did he love the Egyptians and the rituals that they did.
Today's creepy facts. Crowley's practices included sex magic and rituals that some found deeply disturbing. He was known for incorporating bodily fluids such as blood and semen into his magical workings, believing them to be powerful substances for achieving spiritual enlightenment and invoking supernatural forces. These practices were shocking to the public and even to other occultists of his time, contributing to his reputation as the wickedest man in the world.
He also loved that sex magic, is what I always hear when I hear stories about what he was practicing and what he was trying to portray in Hollywood, but not only in Hollywood, to rich people that own banks, to rich people that own pharmaceuticals, to rich people that own hotels and different things like that. Remember, they meet once a year allegedly at the Grove that has that OVO logo there as well, that big ass owl.
Shake off your sorrows with the city's dust and cast to the winds the cares of life. Let memory bring back the well-loved names of gallant friends who knew and loved this grove. Dear boon companions of the long ago. Aye, let them join us in this ritual. Not a place be empty in our midst. Oh, beauty's vassals, who hold in this gray autumn of the world her springtime in your heart, attend our tale. Gather ye forest folk, and cast your spell over
video. That's another video. I don't want to go too conspiracy theorist on this one. I don't want to go too conspiracy theorist. Everything I say in here is alleged. I just saw it on the internet. But I really want to see this video. I haven't seen this one. This has been popping up on my timeline everywhere. I'm like, all right, bro, let's finally watch it. Let's jump into this. Shorty explains that the freak-offs weren't a freak-off. They were really ritual. I want you guys to let me know down below your thoughts. What do you think about all that? Do you really think Diddy was just that freaky? Maybe it was just something that he always wanted to do. Now he got so much money, he's just imagining all his fetishes and all the freaky things he wants to do in life. Or is it deeper than that? Is it something that you're channeling the dark side, probably trying to channel the Baphomet, something like that, continue your success to keep coming your way? Because Diddy has been on top of the world for quite a while. I know rappers that can't be even lit for a year, and him as a mogul has outlasted, to my personal knowledge, people like JD, people like Dame Dash, even Dr. Dre. I'll say Dr. Dre is up because he sold really good headphones. Diddy is not only business, man, he's still in the music industry going crazy. Let me know down below. Do you think those freak-offs had a little more pull to it? Maybe with some rituals going behind it. Maybe some sex magics in the air. Let me know down below. Share your thoughts. At 10,000 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway. All you have to do is follow my Instagram, where we will share more info about it the closer we get to 10 on how you can win that. And just sub up to the channel. When we hit that 10,000 subscribers, we will be giving away one of our unboxings on here. If you've never seen an unboxing we've done previously, go check those out.
Flies to, or in regards to one Brian Christopher Williams, aka Birdman, aka Baby, Denzel Hayes Washington Jr., Sean Love Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, and Giselle Amon Robinson, aka Young Jock. And this describes an incident at the Playboy Mansion here in Simi Valley on or around 2009-2010 while she was in foster care.
Yeah, that's another thing I never thought about. We heard so much crazy about the Playboy Mansion. Why they never got hit with a RICO? Why they never been no RICO going crazy about the Playboy Mansion? Niggas is living in freak-offs. It's a freak-off fantasy. I've been wanting to go to a Playboy Mansion since I was a kid to freak off. Why are they not being held with RICOs? Why they don't got vagina RICOs, 1,000 bottles of lube being found? I know they got lube in there. Why are we not seeing anything being hit? We've seen even shows on A&E and different documentaries of girls coming out and saying it's the horror they went through while being in the Playboy house. Why have we never seen a RICO go down on that company? Why? Niggas is selling clothes right now. Packs them.
The reason I think the mansion was very cult-like, looking back on it, is because we were all kind of gaslit and expected to think of Hef as like this really good guy, and you started to feel like, oh, he's not what they say in the media, he's just a nice man. Another thing that reminds me of a cult is how it was so easy to get isolated from the outside world there. You had a 9 o'clock curfew, you were encouraged to not have friends over. You weren't really allowed to leave unless it was like a family holiday.
Are there rules, like can you have boyfriends at all?
No.
You're not allowed
Half
to.
is our boyfriend.
How do you know when you're called to the master bedroom? Do you have nights?
The sex always happened kind of like the same time, the same night. We would go out to a club every Wednesday and Friday, and that would be expected when we got home. I kept my waitressing job at just like one day a week because I wanted just to have something easy to go back to should things not work out. And he said it made him jealous and he would appreciate it if I quit my job. So instead, we were given $1,000 a week as an allowance.
Just makes no logical sense to me. Also, young jock with that haircut, with that perm, I knew was a free. Previously known as the outlaw, arrest under oath the following accounts of my and all my alter parts personal experiences to be true, accurate to the best of my knowledge regarding the Playboy Mansion and after party attended by Birdman, Denzel, Diddy, and Young Jock. My date of birth is February 15th, 1994, and this party was or around. Favors means that the kids are literally sat on a table and had to wait for people to come choose them for sex. Once they were done having sex, the kids were placed back on the party favorite table, and someone else could come and pick them up from the table and repeat the process. I had to with so many people that night, I couldn't remember them all, and some of the others alters hold those memories. Party goers went into mindsets. Once the DJ started the music and turned on the flashing lights, strobe lights is what I'm taking from that, there were fetishes happening everywhere, and they kind of separated them into areas where specific fetishes were happening. We've heard about these mansion parties. We've heard about rooms. Depending on the room you walk into, you can see some freaky stuff. You walk into this door, it's all girls. You walk into this door, it's guys and girls. You walk into this door, it's all guys. Like, I'm telling you, I've heard a lot of things like that in these mansion parties. It's another consistent thing we've been seeing on these stories.
I got one for you. I got actually a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to give you this one. We was in L.A., and we was getting ready to do the Hollywood movie, sign up for it anyway, you know what I'm saying? It was me, Paul, Ron from Ron's house, you know what I'm saying? It was Big and Rob, from Big and Rob, the Fantasy Factory. It was Flavor Flav, 3-6 Mafia, Ron and Big, and Ron, and Rob and Big. All of us was in Sony getting a deal for the TV show. But we ended up had to make our own trailer. But when we did that, we had to go out, you know, party with people, hang with people. So we went to this mansion party, man, Paul and Juice. And in the mansion party, they was in there, you know, cocaine everywhere, weed everywhere, hoes everywhere, naked. It was off the chain. So I ended up went in this room where it was majority of it was in there. I thought they was getting high, but they was freaking and shit. And Paul them like, yeah, I had came out the room and said, what you doing now? He said, oh, we forgot the team, country. You got to go take one for the team. I'm like, take one for the team? What are y'all talking about? They said, oh, yeah, that room you just went in. That's why we were laughing hard to hear when you was going in there. Cause, you know what I'm saying? Them over there, they don't say shit. You get what I'm saying? So they like, so for us to get this TV show, me, you, or Paul got to go in there. One of us got to go in there and take one for the team. So we were figuring that, you know, you the wild one, you can go in there and take one for the team. And I was like, but, you know, hey, man, I ain't going to be able to do it. So, you know, one of y'all got to do it, and they kept pressuring me to go do it. Yeah, you know, so that was one of the wildest shit I ever been in.
They kind of separate them into specific areas fetishes were happening. For instance, the fetishes of having sex in blood was in one area, while having sex with animals was in another area. People were just in crazy frenzy. When the music started, I was sitting on the table, on the party favorite table. The main room was a big, like a ballroom. There was outlying doors around the edges of the room. Some of the doors were shut, but you could still see the food, sex table, the party favorite table, and many other things. There were different types of sexual parties happening in these different areas of the house. I had to sit on the party favorite table and wait to be chosen. The way someone would choose a gift bag off a table at a birthday party. Two guys took me off the table and brought me. My whole thing is I'm gonna try to look as unattractive as possible as I sit on that table. Unattractive as possible as I sit on that table. Nigga, they all curled up like, yeah. Is when they get too close. Complaining that he did an hour set, but there was no one to F backstage. The comedian broke the no anal rule and had with me anyways, just laughed. I screamed for my handler, Pimp. Everyone was laughing. I ended up getting in trouble. I was then told to on the table with a girl who was my age. They brought in a donkey. They brought in donkeys, burros, and we had to have sex with them. What? Hold on, that is crazy. There were several girls that had to have sex with animals while everyone watched. Other girls and I ended up throwing up afterwards and they rubbed our faces in each other's vomit as a punishment. Nah. For my own thing, I hope this is a lie. State of California, County of Los Angeles, subscribed and sworn before April 2024. Proved to me the basis. I know Denzel seen this with his eyebrows raised. I'm like, oh. I'm assuming this is the girl right here who wrote the police report that we read or the lawsuit. All right, so I was able to find a little bit longer video. The first one we watched was just a small clip, but let's see if she goes into further detail here of what she wrote about. Now we can just finally hear out of her mouth. And Denzel's someone I've never even heard be mixed into something like this, so that's why that's such a random name to me.
There are assault parties, and I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops and then the DJ starts flashing all these lights and they close the doors, and then everybody turns into like a frenzy and starts going into a crazed animal-like demonic state, and you have no idea what's going on. And yes, there was a time where I was just like completely because it happened, and I was the type of kid that thought that, you know, you're in the presence of royalty and they make it seem like you're in the presence of Hollywood, so you should be honored and you should be appreciating that you're there. And I was that person. I totally acted like that.
Shorty kind of looked like Diddy to me. Did they put a filter on her, or am I tripping right now?
I was like, oh, it's fine, you know, it really doesn't matter. But then it really did matter when my pimp was like, he had rules. He had lots of rules, and it was more money. And if you know the difference between a pimp, a John, and a trafficker, the trafficker is the supplier, but the pimp is collecting the money, and the John is doing the buying. So if the pimp is saying that full house, actual, full-blown sex is... By the way, kids, don't watch this. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. If you found my stuff, get off right now. This is the moment where I'm telling you I'm angry. I forgot to put that reminder in the beginning. Okay, cool. Goodbye. What was I saying? Full sex. Full house sex. Thank you. if the pimp paid for, there's rules to full house sex, and there's rules to anal, and there's rules to all kind of different jobs. Okay, so at a certain point, I was not brought or traded for anal sex, but that didn't matter to a few celebrities that were there. It's not just celebrities. There's a lot of different people. They called it an all-black party, but it was mainly because a lot of the party favors were black kids. I was in the care of Riverside County Child Protective Services at the time. I was 15, barely 16, 15, 16. It's foggy. A lot happened that night, and I went really numb. And if there's videos or if there's anything that could go from that, then pull them. Because we all know that there's so many cameras around. So I can try to post the affidavits and I can put out what happened, but at the same time,
that's what we were reading, the affidavit.
What am I supposed to do? Well, nobody's really asking about the kids that are present in these parties now and were then, because they're really just going after all the celebrities and the adults, which I'm happy that we're finally here, and I'm grateful that we're finally pulling the names that need to be pulled and the big fishes that need to be pulled. But at the same time, nobody's asking about the kids and who else is really there. And no, it's just not about all these dudes having sex. They need people to fluff them, which are hand jobs and blow jobs. And those are the kids and the people on the party favors desk. And then on top of that, there's this big ass wheel, and they make it like a carnival thing, and they literally strap you to a wheel and spin it. And then after a certain time, there's sex with animals. And then after a certain time, you have no idea what's happening because you're numb. And if you throw up like I did, then your face is going to be rubbed in and you're going to have to eat it. And then people look at that as a sick fetish too. Blood is a fetish, throw up is a fetish, shit is a fetish. So, I have DID, and I went numb after a while. There's a reason for all of my splits, but I just went numb after a minute. And there's times where I just checked out. You can check out for a few hours while somebody is messing with you. It exists because if you start fighting them back, then you're going to suffocate or it's going to hurt worse. So well, for me personally, I checked out. That's how I'm still sitting here.
Remember, Jaguar Wright said some people didn't make it out of those parties. It's all once again alleged, but she said a lot of people didn't make it out of those parties.
So yeah. And that's not the only thing, because after so many hours of dealing with people, people assaulting you, after so many hours of that, then if you're still okay, then they just make you go to another job like I did. So then you're just transported through the tunnels. Yeah. You don't live in the world you think you do. And there are videos, and there is, I'm sure there's so much of this, and everybody is seeing slowly come out, but nobody's talking about the kids. I don't want to open my phone and realize that somebody posted a video of me as a child, and there was times where because I was on so much ecstasy and so much drugs that I was laughing because I wanted people to think that I was okay, so they didn't kill me. So there are things that would come out that people would assume, like, oh, everything is fine, they're fine. No.
Bro, it's kids. It don't matter if they're laughing, crying, smiling, or angry. It's kids. There should not be no kids involved in this. Also, if there's kids involved in these videos, they're probably not going to come out because we do not want to see that at all. If they're underage, they're not going to release those videos because they, one, that's illegal. Two, we definitely don't want to see that.
No, I was 15, 16. I was a kid, and there were kids younger than me, and there's still kids younger than me, and CPS supplies a lot of these children. Let's just not be around the bush about the CPS supplies a lot of these kids because they don't look for them. They don't care. You're runaways. You're AWOLs. No one gives a shit. So I'm happy we're on this subject, and I hope that we continue because I'm still trying. I'm still here. I still give a shit, even though I kind of checked out for a little bit.
She
And it
looks
looked like
lost.
I did it, and yeah, as a dance choreographer that was being fake and acting like, and it doesn't bother me. It does. It always does. I can't sleep. I can't sleep. So, yeah. You will never, I don't want to be anybody's puppet anymore. So I'm there in so many ways. So yeah. Yep. Yeah.
What do you guys think, bro? She looks not only crazy in the eyes, she looks lost. Like nobody's there. Like nobody's in the spirit. Like, you get me? Like she's just checked out. Like she said herself. But what do you guys think about everything being told during this? No, there's no evidence. We don't even know if she's saying the truth. So remember, take all this with a grain of salt. This is all alleged. But what do you guys think? All the stuff we've been hearing about Hollywood, like they like to say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there is fire. People like Denzel and all these other celebrities being in rooms like that is just disgusting. What do you guys think, though? And parties like this happening at the Playboy Mansion, we've heard a lot of documentaries coming out of the Playboy Mansion about all the stuff them girls we went. They didn't say about anybody being illegal, but they were saying a lot of celebrities were there and they were just grabbing girls in the Playboy Mansion, and you had to sleep with them. That's why you were there. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. It breaks my heart that this is the world we live in, and then we cherish these people and buy their albums, buy their t-shirts, buy their clothes, go to their concerts. And this is really what they're doing behind the scenes with our money. Child Protective Services, there's no way that I don't want to believe that they're supplying kids to this. It's just, I don't even want to believe that. That means just everything we've been living all this time is a lie, but if any of this is true. That's why they're super careful on who they expose, what names they give us. They're going harder on Diddy than they're going on Epstein. We've been getting so much information on Diddy and what they found in Diddy's crib, all this crazy stuff, even lubrications, baby oil, all that, right? But they never really gave us that much info on Epstein and what was in the island, what was in the rooms, released pictures, none of that. And the trial, he died, so why don't we get that information? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like they give us the information on who they want to give out to the public. Sub up at 10,000 subscribers. We will be doing a giveaway. If you want to be part of that giveaway, follow me on IG. Not only on IG, subscribe to the channel, and we will be giving away one of our unboxings. Do you think there's more Crowley involved into this, and then people will just follow those sex magic books and all that, and this is what it ends up in? Let me know down below.